Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke. The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, a busy show today. We're going to go 2.5 hours, and we're going to have westerns, and we're going to have comedies. Jimmy Stewart in The Six Shooter, William Conrad in an early episode of Gunsmoke, John Dehner in an episode of Have Gun Will Travel, Harold Peary in The Harold Peary Show, and J. Carrol Naish in Life with Luigi. That's all straight ahead. On this Wednesday, it is the 27th day of December, 361st day of the year, 4 days left till we get to 2024. By the way, thanks to so many of you who are nice over the holidays and did the Buy Me a Coffee thing. I want to thank everybody who helped in that, especially Bob and Sean, who were very generous in their Buy Me a Coffees. I appreciate you guys so much, and you have no idea. 1831, Charles Darwin embarked on his journey aboard the HMS Beagle, where he would formulate the theory of evolution. Ether anesthetic used for childbirth for the first time on this date in 1845. James Barrie's play Peter Pan premiered in London in 1904. 1927, Leon Trotsky, the Russian Marxist revolutionary, expelled from the Communist Party and exiled to Kazakhstan. 1932, Radio City Music Hall opened up. 1945, the World Bank founded with the signing of an agreement between 28 nations. In 1947, premiering on this date on NBC.
Say, kids, what time is it? Howdy, kids, and howdy, Buffalo Bob. Well, howdy, Mr. Duty. And boys and girls at home and kids in the gallery, let's go.
Howdy Doody Time. Yes, a children's TV program. Buffalo Bob Smith and his wooden partner, Howdy Doody. It was on this date in 1968 the Breakfast Club signed off for the last time.
Presenting America's favorite, the NBC Breakfast Club with Don McNeil.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. We woke up bright and early just to howdy do you. Coffee's on and fruits and toast, bacon and skillet. Joe Galicchio and his boys have tunes to fill it. So come on, gang, let's take a pool at this stage meeting. Line up, kids, I'll call the roll and sing your greetings. Nancy Martin.
Well, how do you do?
And Jack Baker. Glad to see you. The Vagabonds, our guests today.
So breakfast lovers, wake up and smile. It's not the morning happy, make life worthwhile. Good morning, breakfast lovers, good morning to ya. We got up bright and early to howdy to ya. Daddy, mother, sister, brothers, uncle, we don't care. America, alright. The breakfast club is on the air.
Good morning. No chance, please. Just good morning. It's December 8th, 1941, Monday morning. Fine day. Glad to see you around the breakfast table. Hiya, boys.
A cheerful morning show, despite the fact that it was on the day following the attack on Pearl Harbor. The show ran on NBC and moved to ABC in its later years. And what killed the Breakfast Club was ABC's plan to split up into 4 different radio networks. The information and the entertainment and the contemporary, and I can't remember the other one. I think it was the FM network at the time is what they called it. And what they were doing is they were going to split up every hour they were going to feed 4 different newscasts down one single telephone line. Back in the late 60s, they were still using telephones. It'd be another 6-7 years at least before they got off telephone lines and got into satellites. And satellite technology changed everything. It was a little more expensive to set up satellite channels and feed satellite channels, but it was more reliable. And in the long run, it was a whole lot cheaper. But it was if satellite was still around, had been around in 1968, the Breakfast Club or something like it might still be on the air, but it's gone. The Breakfast Club gone on this date in 1968. Gone also on this date in 1970, the Broadway musical Hello, Dolly.
Bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap, fellas, Dolly'll never go away again.
Oh, gosh. Carol Channing was so good in that role. Hello, Dolly closing on Broadway in 1970. They had 2,844 performances. Soviet Union seized control of Afghanistan in 1979, and Babrak Karmal replaced overthrown and executed President Habibullah Amin. In 1985, Palestinian guerrillas killed 18 people inside the airports of Rome and Vienna.
This was a terrorist attack against many nationalities, many countries. As I've said before, we're all in this together. Unfortunately, again, there were Americans killed, but there were also innocent victims of other nationalities. And as I said, we can only deplore and condemn in the strongest terms this sort of cowardly criminal act.
I do not believe, therefore, that the local commanders on the ground, men who have already suffered quite enough, should be punished for not fully comprehending the nature of today's terrorist threat. If there is to be blame, it properly rests here in this office and with this president. And I accept responsibility for the bad as well as the good.
President Reagan believed in that old Harry Truman saying, "The buck stops here," and it did. In 1996, Taliban forces retook the strategic Bagram air base, which solidified their buffer zone around Kabul. And in 2001, the People's Republic of China granted permanent normal trade relations with the U.S. Passing away on this date in history, composer Hoagy Carmichael, also General Norman Schwarzkopf, a great basketball player with the Harlem Globetrotters, Meadowlark Lemon, and Carrie Fisher. Birthdays to this date, Louis Pasteur, Marlene Dietrich, Oscar Levant, and China, Joni Lawler from the WWE. Oh, do you want to say that?
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
The father for the TV show Good Times, John Amos, 84 today. Actor Gerard Depardieu is 75. Singer-songwriter Carla Bonoff is 72. Football player, but better known as a pro wrestler, Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg, 57 today. Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie is 52. Country singer Walker Hayes is 44. He was in the WWE as Cesaro, now getting a proper push as under his real name, Claudio Castagnoli, in AEW and Ring of Honor. He's 43 today. From the group Paramore, Hayley Williams is 35. You remember her from Bates Motel, Vanity Fair, and Ready Player One. Olivia Cook is 30. And got an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor in the movie Call Me By Your Name. Timothée Chalamet is 28. Those some of the people celebrating the 27th day of December is their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday...
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And we'll start off in the Old West with Jimmy Stewart and the Six-Shooter, going back 70 years, December 27th, 1953. The last big show that had a big-name actor on it. Jimmy Stewart and the Six-Shooter, and the story of Cora Plummer Quincy. That's up next on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Ladies, listen. The shortage of fats and oils is still very serious, and it's worldwide. So please, keep on saving every single drop of used kitchen fat. Your butcher will pay you for every pound.
Got a nice note from our listener, Mitch, who listens to the show. He sent me an interesting link and said, I'm really enjoying the new podcast. The old advertisements are great. And thank you for your wish for a great Christmas. I wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, joyous Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, enjoy it. Because I wish you the best just for being out there and listening to this mess. Now, we go back 70 years to December 27th, 1953, an episode of The Six-Shooter starring Jimmy Stewart.
James Stewart as the Six-Shooter. The man in the saddle is angular and long-legged. His skin is sun-dyed brown. The gun in his holster is gray steel and rainbow mother of pearl. Its handle unmarked. People call them both the Six-Shooter. The NBC Radio Network presents James Stewart as the Six-Shooter, a transcribed series of radio dramas based on the life of Britt Ponsett, the Texas plainsman who wandered through the Western territories, leaving behind a trail of still remembered legends.
Sure was coming down that afternoon in Petersville. It had started all of a sudden, too, just after I left Scar at the livery stable and headed up the main street toward Doc Early's office. All right, real cloudburst. The wind was from the north and strong enough so that the water was beating against the building slant-wise. And the way the wheel ruts in the street were turning into puddles. Rain barrels were sloshing over the sides. Well, it was like the whole town had been pushed under a leaky sieve. The closest cover I could spot was the front porch of the Jackson Hotel. That's better. For a minute I sort of shook myself off like a half-drowned pup. Then I noticed the young fellow standing beside me. I didn't recognize him, though, not at first.
Mr. Ponsett? You're Britt Ponsett, ain't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't sure till I saw your gun. I guess you don't remember me, Mr. Ponsett. Calvin Plummer.
Calvin Plummer? Oh, I sure remember you, Cal. Say, you really sprung up, haven't you? By George, you're taller than I am. How'd you manage to do so much growing so fast?
I wasn't so fast, Mr. Ponsett. It's been 6 years since you were in Petersville.
6 years? Is that long?
Right after my 15th birthday, that's when you left.
6 years since I was here, huh? Let's see, that must make you right about 21 years old, huh?
Yes, sir.
21. Yeah, that's a man's age.
It's supposed to be. Too bad everybody doesn't realize it.
Well, sometimes it takes a while for people to get used to the fact that you've grown up.
I guess so.
How are your folks? Your Ma and Pa, how are they?
Didn't you know, Mr. Ponsett? Pa died last summer.
Oh, well, no, I hadn't heard that. I'm sorry, Cal. I'm awful sorry about that. He was a fine man.
Yeah. At least I thought so.
Well, everybody thought so. You know that.
Did they?
Well, what do you mean, Cal?
Nothing. Looks like it's letting up. You staying in town, Mr. Ponsett?
No, just overnight. I kind of twisted my hand while I was branding a calf the other day. And swelling wouldn't go down, so I thought maybe Doc Early ought to have a look at it. If he's still practicing here, is he?
Yeah, he's still here. I expect you've been moving around quite a bit, huh, Mr. Ponce?
Oh, more than my share, I guess.
You ain't never been to a place called Elk Point, have you? Somewhere out in the New Mexico territory?
Oh, yes. I was out there in Elk Point 2 winters ago, I think it was.
What kind of setup is a Quincy ranch? Would you mind telling me?
Quincy?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the biggest outfits in those parts.
You sure it's near Elk Point?
Well, ain't it?
I don't know. I never heard of a Quincy ranch around there.
You certain, Mr. Ponce?
Yeah. Of course, that doesn't mean that there isn't a...
Yeah, I know. Well, goodbye.
Say hello to your ma for me, Cal. She's all right, I trust.
Sure. She's fine.
I reckon your father was... Well, it must have hit her pretty hard, huh?
He had a real fast recovery.
What?
10 months ain't very long to mourn, is it? Not even a year. Just 10 months. Bye, Mr. Ponce.
Cal Plummer had done a lot more than just grow up since the last time I saw him. Strange way he was carrying on. I sure couldn't figure out what caused it. And I talk about his mother, like Cora and Ned Plummer, were just about as well suited as any two people I ever met up with. But you couldn't even think about one without thinking of the other. They must have been married on close to 35 years. Cal, he was their third child. He was the only one that lived. Gee, Ned sure thought the world of him. Petersville wouldn't be the same without Ned. The rain had stopped now. It even started to warm up a little. And the mud puddles out in the street were giving off little whiffs of steam. So I went over to Doc Early's office. It was just around the corner from the hotel.
Britt, don't look like you broke a thing. But it's a real bad sprain. The one you was even able to ride into town today.
Yeah, well, it wasn't any too comfortable, I'll tell you that much.
What you been doing for it?
Well, it wasn't much good to, Doc, out the ranch, you know.
Yeah, well, some hot water and Epsom salts might be a little help. I'll put the kettle on and get it warming. It was so darn chilly during all that rain, I built me a little fire in the stove. Good thing that ain't your shooting hand, Britt.
Well, I haven't needed a shooting hand much lately.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
No, things look quiet enough around Petersville.
Yeah, they're quiet all right, considering that Sheriff Jay is out of town.
Oh?
Yeah, he had some business, took him over to the New Mexico territory. He's checking up on some fella there.
Oh. Well, that's kind of a coincidence.
What do you mean?
Well, I just ran into Cal Plummer on the way up to see you, and he was asking me about New Mexico.
That wasn't no coincidence, Britt.
What?
You see, the reason the sheriff went to Roswell, well, of course, officially he's picking up a prisoner, but the reason he went himself instead of sending somebody else is so he can do a little inquiring about Cal's new pa. New pa? Well, sure. Cora's married again. Didn't Cal tell you?
No, he didn't.
Well, I guess maybe he was just too ashamed to mention it.
Why, that doesn't seem possible. Cora Plummer remarried.
No, we was all mighty surprised. Nobody ever figured she'd look at another man, much less take a new husband, especially so soon after. Well, it was less than a year. Oliver Quincy, that's the fellow's name.
Quincy, huh? Well, when did it happen, Doc?
Oh, let's see, about a month ago. Maybe 5 weeks. 5 weeks and 3 days. And it's as plain as day he married her because she's got a little money. Ned left her a pretty well fixed ranch and all in cattle.
Well, what about Cal?
Oh, he came in some money, too. Enough for a good start in life. And Cal's a hard worker. He'll get along. I feel kind of sorry for him, though. You know, he just worshipped his pa. And Cora getting hitched again, well, it was sort of like a slap in the face to him.
Yeah?
Sounds like that water's boiling. Yeah, that ought to be hot enough for you.
Now, what kind of a man is this Oliver Quincy? Is that his name, Oliver?
Yeah, that's his name, all right. Oh, you know the type, Britt. Big fella, white hair, mustache, always smiling. Now, where'd that salt? Oh, here we are. A real four-flusher, that's what he is. You can spot him a mile off. Dresses like a dude, uses a lot of fancy words. Move that stuff. Now, just let me... There. Now, just stick your hand in here.
Right here.
All the way, Britt, all the way. Heat's good for spring.
Holy smokes, that's hotter than a furnace, Doc.
Well, that's what draws out poison. You'll get used to it in a minute or so.
It draws out the what?
He claims to have a big ranch somewhere near Elk Point. Cora says he's worth more than she is. Well, maybe he's got her convinced, but he ain't fooling nobody else.
Gee, that's odd. It could be the truth.
If he's so well off, why are they living on Cora's property? Just answer me that, then.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Guess that water's cooling off. Maybe I ought to pour in some fresh.
No. That water's fine, Doc. That's just fine. It doesn't need to be a bit hotter. And the hand's feeling better already.
Yeah, well, you leave it in a little while longer anyhow.
It's feeling better.
I reckon even Cora will get her eyes opened up when Sheriff Jay comes back from New Mexico. He'll have the truth about Oliver Quincy. Of course, it's going to hurt her some. A woman don't like the idea of finding out she's made a fool of herself. But it'll be better for her to find it out now than later.
Well, I just don't see how this concerns the sheriff, Doc.
Man who tells a widow woman a batch of lies and finagles around so he can get control of her property, that concerns the sheriff, don't it? Fella who do that, he might do a lot worse, Britt. He might do a whole lot worse. You just mark my word. All right, let's have a look at that hand of yours.
Oh, sure, yeah. What?
No, now, don't let the redness worry you. You ain't scalded. Swelling has gone down a mite. Well, I'll just wrap it up real tight, and in a day or so it'll be good as new. Swear I don't know how I'd get along without Epsom salt. Seems like they're a remedy for almost everything. Put old Lady Murdoch on 'em last year when her liver was acting up. 4 or 5 doses, and she ain't had a bit of trouble since. Why, she was even at the barn dance last Saturday carrying on like she didn't have no liver at all. Now, if you'll just hold out your hand, Brett.
After Doc Early got through with his bandaging, my hand did feel a little better. At least some of the throbbing seemed to go away. So I left his office and I wandered over to the hotel. By the time I got there, they were serving supper in the dining room. Not family style either. They had a real fancy layout. Separate tables with flowers on them. 2 waitresses wearing little checkered aprons sort of matched the tablecloths. Of course, when a place is all fixed up like that, they always make it up on you. You know, Well, you can figure on paying a little extra for your food when they have a place. Now, for instance, the steak I ordered, it was going to cost 35 cents. That's what it said on the menu, 35 cents.
There you are, mister.
Oh, thanks.
Looks like you're going to have trouble cutting it. What's wrong with your hand?
It's nothing serious. It's just a sprain. I guess maybe I should have ordered something I could spoon through.
Want me to slice up the meat for you?
No, I'll manage. I just get this thumb out of here. Yeah. I'll be all right.
Well, if you want anything, just holler.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, miss. I don't know why they give me the toughest steak in the whole kitchen. For 35 cents, you think you should have been...
Howdy, Britt.
Oh, Doc. Were you eating here, too, tonight?
No, Britt, I was looking for you.
For me?
Cal Plummer just come riding into town, says his ma's been shot.
Been shot? Cora?
That's what Cal says. He don't think it's too serious, but I'm going out the ranch now and see what I can do for her.
Oh, of course, sure. Yeah.
Cal told me to bring you along.
Me? What for?
I don't know. He just told me to find you if I could and bring you.
He did, huh? That's funny.
Well, Britt, you coming or not?
Well, I sure don't see where I figure in this thing, but if Cal wants me,
sorry to drag you away from your supper.
Oh, that's all right, Doc. I'm afraid I was fighting a losing battle with that steak anyhow.
We'll return to James Stewart as the 6-shooter in just a moment. Every day, every one of us Americans has the satisfaction of knowing that right now we enjoy the highest standard of living in all history. And we've only begun, for it's a fact that our standard of living will rise still higher. And while we've made ourselves stronger economically, we've retained all of our basic freedoms. We work where we choose, we bargain collectively, contract our own affairs, and profit from our inventiveness and enterprise. That's the American economic system, and I'm for it. I'm sure you are, too. So let's keep things that way, friends. All of us. Now, Act 2 of The 6-Shooter, starring James Stewart as Britt Ponsett.
Plummer Ranch was about half-hour ride east of Petersville. Real big outfit, too. Maybe, 50 square miles grazing land and all. The main ranch house just off the road was built to size. 2 stories tall with giant big windows faced out. I remember hearing folks tell how Ned Plummer had to send all the way up to Chicago to get glass big enough for those windows. There was a couple of lamps burning somewhere on the first floor. You could see little lights spilling through the draperies. And the rest of the place was dark. Whoa, Scar. Whoa. Oh, boy. Oh. And we left our horses in the yard, Doc and I. And he grabbed his satchel with the medical instruments, and we walked up to the carved mahogany door, the front door.
Just a minute. Yes? Oh, Doc Early.
Evening.
Just what can I do for you, Doctor?
Well, Cal said that Miss Plummer, that Miss Quincy, your wife, that she was hurt somehow.
Oh, I see. Well, it's nothing serious, just a scratch. My gun went off accidentally. A bullet grazed her shoulder. But Cora's perfectly all right now. As a matter of fact, I think she's already gone to bed.
Is it, Oliver?
Sounds to me like she's still up.
Oh, I guess I was mistaken.
Yeah.
Oliver?
It's a doctor, dear, and,
My name's Ponsett. Britt Ponsett.
Britt Ponsett?
That's right, Mr. Quincy.
Well, I suppose you might as well come in, Doctor. Mr. Ponsett?
Hi, go.
This way. I told him it was only a scratch, dear. But as long as Dr. Early rode way out here, I suppose he might as well have a look at you, just to be on the safe side.
Hello, Cora.
Britt. Why, what are you doing in Petersville? When did you get into town?
This afternoon. Didn't Cal tell you?
Well, no.
It must have slipped his mind.
Good evening, Cora. Let me see here.
Now, Doc, you shouldn't be troubling over me. I'm all right, really.
Well, of course you are, my dear. Of course you are. Bullet barely grazed your skin. I'm afraid the good doctor doesn't approve of my bandage.
No. It's perfectly satisfactory. At least it appears to be. I'd like to take it off, though. Make certain there's no danger of infection. You mind stepping in the other room, Cora?
Well,
Go ahead, my dear. Go ahead.
I'll see you before you leave, Britt.
Oh, sure. I'll wait around till the doc finishes up.
Nice of you to ride out to Dr. Early, Mr. Ponsett. I imagine he appreciates having the company.
Well, it wasn't his idea, Mr. Quincy.
Oh?
No, Cal asked him to bring me along.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, I reckon that makes us even. Whereabouts is he, anyway?
Calvin? I don't know. He hasn't been here all evening.
He wasn't around when the shooting took place.
It was not a shooting, Mr. Ponsett. It was an accident.
Well, whatever it was.
And Calvin was not here. I met up with him while I was riding into town to get the doctor, and he offered to save me the trip.
I guess I was under the impression you said Cora didn't need a doctor.
No, she does. But at first, I didn't know how serious the wound might be. Then, when I got back to the house, I saw it didn't amount to anything. And by the time you and Dr. Early showed up, I'd forgotten the whole thing. That's why I was surprised to see you. For a moment, I couldn't think what you wanted.
Your gun just happened to go off, huh?
I was going to clean it. I thought it was empty. I guess I don't know too much about firearms.
What make do you carry?
Why...
He doesn't carry any make, but I do.
I hadn't seen Cal come in on the front hall, so I didn't know how long he'd been standing there. He was holding a .45, using it to cover his stepfather. The gun wasn't moving either. Cal's hand was as steady as his eyes. Steady and cold and determined. It wasn't the first time I'd seen a man with a look like that on his face. Now, not a killer's look exactly, at least not the look of somebody who wants to kill. More like somebody who hasn't got any choice.
I was wondering how you'd lie out of it, Quincy. The kind of story you'd tell. You weren't very convincing either, considering all the practice you've had.
Calvin, listen to me. I know how you feel.
You haven't got the slightest notion how I feel. If you did, you'd have left town like I told you a couple of hours ago.
Now, take it easy, Cal.
I gave him warning, Britt. I gave him fair warning. I said I'd kill him if he didn't get out and stay out for good.
I don't know what it is he's got against me, Mr. Ponsett. I suppose I don't measure up to his father.
Measure up to him? I thought I'd kill you for even comparing yourself. Well, are you going or not, Quincy? Because if you're not, this time Ma ain't here to get in the way.
What? Was that what happened before? Is that how she got shot up?
It was his fault. He's got her so mixed up, she doesn't see anything straight. She thinks he's fond of her, the way she is of him. When she saw the gun, she ran forward, yelling and screaming. The way she grabbed my hand, that's what made it go off. I never meant to fire. Least of all, I never meant to hit Ma.
But your Ma's all right, Calvin. The bullet hardly touched her.
I don't believe... Is that true, Mr. Ponce?
That's right, Cal. Car's fine. Doc Early's in there now, just making certain.
All right, Quincy. Start moving before she comes back.
Now, hold on. Hold on a minute there now. This isn't any way to settle things. He's your mother's husband. She's got a right to know what's going on.
You think I want her to know what a liar he is? That he never cared for? You think I want to break her heart?
Well, what are you talking about, Calvin? I never lied to Cora. Never in my life.
And where's that big ranch you're supposed to own and all the money you're supposed to have?
What?
Tell Mr. Ponce about your holdings. He's been to Elk Point. And there ain't no Quincy Ranch.
Oh, you're not making any sense, Calvin.
I ain't going to stand around here arguing.
Put that away, Cal.
Not until he leaves. He gives me his word he won't be back. And if he don't keep his word...
Cal?
You don't figure in this, Mr. Ponce.
You got me out here. It was my idea.
Well, nobody's keeping me.
This bandage isn't on my gun hand, Cal.
He's got you fooled into being on his side, too.
I didn't say that.
Look, ain't there nobody that sees him for what he really is? All he's trying to do is to get his hands on what my father left. Dad worked hard. All his life he worked hard. And when he was dying, he told me to look after Ma. Told me it was my job. Well, I'm going to do my job, Mr. Ponce. And nobody's...
You made enough trouble for one night.
I'm sorry, Ma. Didn't want you to be here. Didn't want you to find out.
Found out what? My son's turned into a lunatic?
I'm only doing it for you, Ma.
For me? Do you think you're helping me by carrying on like this? I've got my own life to live, Calvin. You've got to let me live it as I see best.
Ma, he's no good. I was trying to get him to leave before Sheriff Jay comes back from Roswell. Before the whole thing came out. Well, I guess it's too late now. I guess you'll have to know.
Know what?
He hasn't got a ranch. He ain't got any money.
Oh.
If you don't believe me, ask Britt Ponce. He only married you because of what Pa left you.
No. All I said that I didn't know of any Quincy Ranch near Elk Point. That's all I said. I haven't been around there for a couple of years. Maybe by now.
Well, there ain't no such ranch now either. Is there, Quincy?
Well, no, of course not.
There you see, Ma.
Calvin, listen to me.
He's admitting it, Ma. Why don't you face facts? Everybody else has been on to him. Everybody but you.
It's all my fault. I should have told you in the first place. I know that Oliver isn't rich. I never thought he was.
You never thought... Ma?
Well, maybe Doc and I had better get going, huh?
No, I'd like you to stay, Brent. Calvin is right about one thing, though. I've been making a fool of myself. What's worse, I've been making a fool of Oliver, too.
Now, Cora.
You see, Calvin, I've known Oliver for a long time. Your father and I, well, we were all friends back in Kansas. All three of us. Of course, that was before I married your dad.
You've known each other all these years?
Once, Oliver asked me to marry him. But I chose your father. And I've never been sorry I made that choice. I guess you know that, Ollie.
Well, sure, Cora.
But after Ned died, well, it was like part of me had died, too. And I felt all hollow and useless, lonesome. Not a very romantic way of putting it. Lonesome, but that's how I felt. Like I couldn't go on by myself. Oh, you did your best, son, to keep me from thinking about your father and about myself. But it wasn't enough. And I kept remembering what your father said when he first took sick and he knew he wasn't going to get well. He said he'd take it as a compliment if I was to marry again. That it would mean our marriage had been a good one. But more than that, I think he knew I wasn't the kind to live alone. So I wrote to Oliver, asked him to come out to Petersville just for a visit. And then, well, us getting married was my idea.
Well, your idea, Cora.
Ollie was afraid of what folks would think. Me having this ranch and him not worth very much. He was afraid they'd get the idea he was marrying me because of my money. So I told everybody that he had a ranch of his own, even bigger than mine.
Boy, Cora.
Oh, I was just trying to make it easier on him, Britt, so he wouldn't be embarrassed, uncomfortable. Of course, Oliver didn't know what I was up to.
You shouldn't have done it, Cora.
I'm sorry, Ollie. But I'm not sorry I married you.
Oh, my.
You've got to understand, Calvin. It's true. I'm an old lady and a foolish one. And it's true I don't feel the same way toward Oliver that I felt toward your father. You only feel that once in a lifetime. And some folks aren't even that lucky. But it's better for me not to be alone in this time that's left. I think it's better for Oliver, too.
You should have told me, Ma.
Yes. Yes, I see that now. But I wasn't sure how you'd take it. Too bad you were dragged into this, Britt. You and Doc, but I wanted you to hear it all before you left.
Sure, Cora.
You knew Ned. You were a good friend of his. He thought a lot of you.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Oh, what would he think? How would he feel about my marrying again?
Oh, it's pretty hard to speak for somebody else, Cora. But Ned loved you. That was plain to everybody. So I guess he'd want you to be happy and content. That's what Ned would want.
Thanks, Britt.
Well, Doc, it's about time we're getting back to town, isn't it? After that, I guess Cal and Oliver started hitting it off real well. Anyway, the last time I was through Petersville, folks were all talking about how much Oliver Quincy had done for the Plummer Ranch. Practically doubled the size of the herd, and now he was building a house down on the south pasture for Cal to live in when he got married. As for Sheriff Jay's story about Oliver not owning any property around Elk Point, well, the people just wouldn't believe that, that's all. The sheriff just hadn't done enough checking, that's all. A man like Oliver Quincy, why, he just had to be rich. It was written all over him.
The Six Shooter is a transcribed NBC Radio Network production in association with Review Productions. It is based on a character created by Frank Birch and is written by him. Mr. Stewart may soon be seen in the Universal International picture, The Glenn Miller Story. Others in the cast were Virginia Gregg and Jean Tatum, Robert Griffin, Parley Bear, and Bert Holland. Special music for this program was by Basil Adlam, and the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. All characters and incidents were fictitious, and any resemblance to actual characters or incidents is purely coincidental. This is Hal Gibley speaking. Tonight, hear Margaret O'Brien in the NBC Star Playhouse on the NBC Radio Network.
70 years ago, December 27th, 1953, The Six Shooter on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Gunsmoke.
Ladies, you're not getting nearly as much soap as you need because the soap makers aren't getting nearly as much fat as they need. Please help supply the fats needed to make soap. Save and sell every ounce of used kitchen fat. Your grocer will pay you 4 cents a pound. So don't waste fat.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go back 71 years, December 27th, 1952. William Conrad in an episode of Gunsmoke.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
It was over 100 miles back to Dodge, but I figured I could make it easy in a day and a half. I'd been in Hays City as a government witness in a murder trial, and I was anxious to get back. So I rode out of Hays one morning a couple of hours before light. The ground was clear as snow, but it was midwinter, and it was sharp cold. When the day came, there was no sun, only dark gray sky drilled by a high, cold, searching wind. The air was as thin as I could ever remember it being. And behind me in the north lay a great slab of blackness. When I saw that, I should have turned back, for the wind stood out of the north, too, and sooner or later it would drive that black slab right down on top of me. This was blizzard weather, the kind of weather that kills the land and everything on it. I don't know why I went on, maybe because of the wind. You know, a high wind will distemper a man, make him drunk like. Anyway, I didn't turn back. And about noon, the sky began to turn white with snow, and I could smell a touch of moisture in the air. And finally it came, the sleet, shrilling in on the wind like small buckshot as the blizzard howled down the prairie. I couldn't look right or left without being stung blind, but as long as I kept the wind on my back, I knew I was headed south. 2 hours of this, and I could feel my horse slowing down and weakening under me. My own body stiffened with the cold. Men died when they got caught in a thing like this. They died easy. Another hour passed, and my horse was carrying his head close to the ground. I figured he'd stumble soon, so I kicked my feet out of the stirrups and braced myself against the horn. By now, the wind had really gotten into me. And when I saw the blur of a ranch house up ahead, I thought maybe it was a trick. But a few minutes later, we rounded a corner of the place and stood at last in the lee of the storm. I slid down and got up to the door and pounded on it. And I waited. Then I pounded again. Then the door came open and a figure stood in the light.
Who are you? Bring him in, Alvie. Any man out in that weather's been made harmless. Get inside. Out of the way, Alvie, you fool. All right, stranger, hands in the air. High. That's better. Unload him, Alvie.
Nice gun, Hack. Real nice gun.
Shut up. Now, take him down, stranger. You can come up to the stove now, but don't try nothing. I'll cut you in half with buckshot.
He was a burly man with flushed cheeks and a wild red beard and a great shock of red hair. Even his hands and fingers bristled with it. He sat on a stool by the stove, a shotgun across his knees. And his eyes never left me. The other one, Alvie, had a body of an underfed boy, but he was completely bald, and his skin was tight and dry. He looked like a naked skull. And his eyes, well, something had touched Alvie.
You look half froze, stranger. You must have wanted something real bad to go out in weather like this.
I never saw him around here before, Hack.
He's a stranger, Alvie. He don't belong around here.
Of course, we don't know everybody, but I seen a few, and I never seen him before.
Maybe he's seen you, Alvie, somewhere.
Not me. He never saw me nowhere.
How do you know that?
Maybe he was just looking for some cows and got lost in a storm.
You're just a kid, Alvie. I always said you don't know much. Belle! Belle, get on out here.
She was a pretty girl, but with a dark, half-wild look that I'd never seen before in a woman. Her eyes jumped from man to man and then came to rest on me, fixed and curious. And then after a moment, she looked away and moved into a chair across the room.
Supper ready, Belle? It's awful cold out.
You recognize him, Belle? You ever see him before?
Nope.
You're sure now? Maybe Hayes City. Maybe you saw him up there sometime.
I don't know him.
You sure?
Yes.
If you're lying to me, you know what I'll do to you.
I never saw him before.
He come in here half froze, right out of the blizzard. Must have been looking for some cows and got lost.
Shut up, Alvie. We don't know what he's doing here, Belle.
Why shouldn't a man get out of the storm? Even in here.
That's enough. All right, stranger, we never saw you before. We don't know who you are. And as soon as I think you're lying, I'm going to blow a big hole in you.
What about my horse? I'd like to put him in the barn if you've got one.
Alvie?
Oh, now, Hack, I ain't going out there. I'd freeze.
And the horse will freeze if you don't.
It's his horse.
We might need it. Go on, Alvie, before I get cross.
All right, I'll go. I don't know why a horse is so important.
Alvie's a good boy. He'll put your horse up.
Thank you.
Supper's about ready.
Leave it. I want to talk to our friend here first. Maybe we won't have to feed him.
Potatoes will get mealy.
They better not, that's all. I'm right curious about you, mister.
I've noticed that.
I'll blow your guts all over the wall. You make fun of me. Don't get me mad, mister. I got the shotgun.
The meat'll be boiled to shreds if we don't eat soon.
You just won't understand any other way, will you, Belle?
What is it you want to know about me?
I can tell, mister, I can handle you easy now.
What do you mean?
All I got to do is wallop the girl and you'll talk. I don't have to do nothing to you.
All right, if I take my jacket off. I've warmed up now.
I mind. You might have a gun hid out in there.
He can raise his hands. I'll unbutton it.
Well, now, that's right smart of you, Belle.
Oh, I'll hide it.
No, leave it be.
Belle. Come over here, Belle. Drop the jacket, Belle. Now hold out your other hand. Now open it, Belle. Open your hand. That's real bad what you did, Belle. Real bad. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you outside for a spell out in the weather. After supper, after you've cleaned up supper, you can be thinking about it till then. United States Marshal. You're in bad company, Marshal. You shouldn't have come here.
Oh? It looks to me like I sort of struck gold coming here.
Now, why do you talk like that, Marshal? I still got the shotgun.
Let me hit that stove. Seems like it's getting colder and colder.
You didn't see any sign of nobody outside, did you, Alvie?
What? Who?
Somebody might have come along to cover the marshal here, it's all.
Marshal? What marshal?
Me. I'm a marshal, Alvie.
Shoot him, Hack. Shoot him.
Shut up and answer me. Was there sign of another horse footprints, anything like that?
Ah, I didn't see nothing.
Maybe you didn't look.
Would I have walked in here the way I did if I'd been after you people?
Maybe your head got muddled with the cold. Where'd you ride from, Marshal?
Hayes City. Left there this morning.
That was a fool thing to do with a blizzard coming up.
Maybe.
Did you think you could get the jump on us easier in a storm? Was that it, Marshal?
Yeah. You knew we'd be trying to keep cozy in here.
I'm curious, Hack. What are you and Alvie on the run for?
Don't you tell him, Hack. I don't trust him at all.
Alvie, it'd be mighty dull without you, boy.
Don't laugh at me, Hack. Now stop it. I don't like laughing. You know that, Hack. And don't you do it no more. I got ways.
Yeah, I seen you and your ways. But don't try 'em on me, Alvie.
Maybe I will.
Look, Alvie, now you don't understand. It's all right to tell the marshal about us. He ain't going nowhere.
No?
No, of course not. We'll kill him, Alvie. We'll kill him and bury him somewhere.
Sure. Now, why didn't I think of that?
'Cause I do the thinking for us, Alvie, that's why. Now, what was it you liked to know, Marshal?
Stop playing games, Hack.
Me and Alvie are wanted for murder.
Up in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Seems a mite unfair, though. We didn't aim to kill nobody. It just happened that way.
We was robbing a bank.
Yeah, and a couple of the people there wouldn't do what we told them, so Alvie used his knife on one, but it just made the man holler.
You could hear him all over town.
And we had to shoot our way out after that. Must have killed 3 or 4 people.
I know I killed 2.
Worst of it was, Marshal, all we wanted just then was some money. We didn't care about killing anybody. But you know how it is, Marshal, when you're robbing a bank and all.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't suppose you do it that. Anyway, we're wanted for murder, and we didn't even get any money.
Nary a dollar.
So we rode out here and lighted for a spell.
I see. What about Belle? And whose place is this, anyway?
It's my place, now that Pa's gone.
You mean you were living here alone?
No.
They killed your pa, is that it?
Yes.
How long ago?
I don't know. Maybe a month.
Yeah, it's been about a month, hasn't it, Alvie?
35 days.
There, you see? Alvie always knows just how long everything's been.
No, that's fine. Tell me what you do with him.
Who?
The old man.
Oh, we buried him out back. We couldn't afford a funeral. Could we, Alvie?
Hack, we told him that. Now let's shoot him.
No, I've been thinking it over. People in Hayes City know he started for Dodge, and when he don't show up, they might come looking for him.
But you said we'd bury him, Hack. That's what you said.
Yeah, that's right, but we can't bury his horse, too. Not in this ground. It's froze solid. And if we turn the horse loose and they find it and can't find the marshal's body, then they'll suspect something.
You're pretty smart, Hack. Too bad you don't know enough to stop killing people.
Too bad for you, anyway.
Well, what are we going to do, Hack? I'm getting hungry.
That supper won't be fit to eat.
Shut up! One more word out of you, Bella, and I'll whoop you good.
Come on, Hack. I'm really hungry.
No, listen to me, Alvie. Now, my idea is to knock the marshal on the head and throw him outside to freeze. Now, he'll keep real good that way. And when the storm breaks, we can carry him off 20 miles or so and dump him on the ground. Look like he got throwed and hit his head and froze.
Oh, that's fine, Hack. That's just fine.
Then we'll break his horse's leg, make it easier for them to find him.
You just don't care about anything, do you, Hack?
Just me. Sometimes, Alvie.
Sure. Me and Hack are friends, ain't we, Hack?
Of course, if it don't go on snowing, we'll have to think of something else. Can't leave tracks for them to follow back there.
Oh, Hack, ain't we gonna kill him now?
Well, sure we are, Alvie. I didn't mean that.
Let me hit him, huh? You keep the gun on him, and I'll get up behind and hit him. There was a branding iron around here somewhere. I'll hit him with that.
Hack, you've sunk pretty far, but I'm sort of wondering just how far.
What do you mean?
I'm wondering if you're low enough to kill a man before he's been fed.
Here it is, Hack. Here, see? I found it.
Leave it be, Alvie. We're gonna eat first.
We will return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment. But first, this Sunday night, Lionel Barrymore is your host and Joseph Cotton the star on Sunday Night Playhouse's gripping historic drama based on the life of Peter Marshall. Hear how a Scottish immigrant lad rose to the position of chaplain of the United States Senate. A story you'll agree is far more fascinating than fiction. Remember, it's tomorrow night when Lionel Barrymore introduces another Sunday Night Playhouse on most of these same CBS radio stations. Now for the second act of Gunsmoke.
It was only 5 in the afternoon, but the blizzard had darkened the land, and its blackness showed in at the windows. Here and there along the walls of the ranch house, tricklets of snow blew in through the warped timber. In the kitchen, Hank sat directly behind me while I ate. Later changed places with Alvie and fed himself heartily, as though he had nothing at all on his mind. Hank was just a nerveless brute, born with no conscience at all. His intelligence was the instinct of an animal that snapped at or killed whatever got in its way of survival. Every living thing was his enemy. And Alvie? Well, there was no way to figure Alvie. Too much of him was missing. My only chance lay in the girl, Belle, even though Hack had pretty well beaten all resistance out of her. Supper was over soon enough, but Hack seemed in no particular hurry to get on with his plans.
You've eaten better food on the trail than that.
Can't blame me for.
Get it cleaned up, Belle. You can talk your head off when you're outside alone, and you're going outside. I'll learn you to heal if I have to break your neck.
No, don't do that, Hack. Not till we're ready to pull out, anyway.
Why?
Well, I ain't gonna do the cooking.
Well, I hope not. I've eaten your cooking.
My sister was a good cook.
Yeah, we should have brought her along, Alvie.
No, I don't like her.
Where are you from, anyway?
Which, me or Alvie?
Well, you to start with.
Wyoming, place called Crowheart. I didn't stay there long, though.
What about you, Alvie?
Yeah, where were you born, Alvie? I never did know.
Republican River.
That's not a place, you fool.
Well, that's what they told me. Republican River. They always lived in a wagon, my ma and pa. Had a lot of kids, too. Of course, most of them died. I'm about the only one that made out any good at all.
And you did fine, Alvie, fine. Give me the shotgun. All right, Marshal, let's get back by the stove while Belle cleans this mess up.
Shall we hit him and throw him out to freeze up now, Hack?
Not yet. I want to punish Belle first.
You know, someday you're going to get caught without that shotgun, Hack. Somebody's going to tear you apart.
That's fair enough, Marshal.
Give me a fair chance at you then, huh? Bare-handed?
No.
Oh, you're bigger than I am, Hack. Might be fun for you.
I don't know nothing about fun. I ain't gonna kill you because it's fun.
Oh, come on, Hack. I want to go to bed.
Belle, come out here. Get outside like I told you. And don't open that door so wide you'll blow the lamp out.
Belle had walked through the room and out the door without a glance at any of us. I figured she'd go down to the barn where she'd be all right for a little while anyway. But I knew I'd have to make a move soon. I sure wasn't going to sit there like a fall hog and let Alvie knock me in the head whenever he got ready. But it didn't take much more sense to try to jump Hack in that shotgun and let him blow me all over the place. It was a beggar's choice, and the more I thought about it, the madder I got.
Heck, I'm sleepy. I'm gonna hit him and go to bed. You can do what you want after, but I ain't staying up all night.
Alvie's got his mind made up, Marshal, I can tell.
Just what do you call his mind, Hack?
I got ways to fix you, Marshal.
Never mind, Alvie. Wrap something around that iron, otherwise it won't look like he hit his head on a rock.
What difference it makes?
Do what I say, Alvie.
All right, Hack. Here, I'll use this curtain.
Now, keep your eyes on me, Marshal.
Alvie moved around behind me and was getting a good grip on his branding iron. I leaned slightly forward in the chair and was tensed and waiting for the split second when my instinct had told me to jump. And then suddenly the door was flying wide open and the wind roared in, almost lifting the room as it came. The lamp flared and then went out as I plunged sideways from the chair.
Did you hit him, Alvie? Did you hit him? You bloody fool! Don't you try nothing, Marshal. I got some more shells right here. Don't you move now.
I crawled across the room and was out the door before Hack could reload. In the snow outside, I stood up and turned to find Belle waiting by the side of the door, a pitchfork in her hand. I couldn't see her face very well in the dark, but I could tell she was shaking with cold. I reached out and took the fork from her and then flattened myself against the wall and waited.
I was afraid it was you he shot.
That was a smart trick, Belle, throwing the door open that way.
He shot Alvie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good.
I think he's found out I'm not in there.
What are you going to do?
Wait. Marshal! Marshal! I'm going to kill you and the girl both now.
I waited, praying he'd come through the door before my hands got too cold to hold the pitchfork. And finally, the barrel of the shotgun appeared, waist high, and began to poke its way around in our direction. It was stupid of him, but a man behind a gun often gets a false sense of power. I let him shove it out 3 or 4 inches, and then I slammed down on it. Then I jumped into the room. Hack tried to club me with a gun, but he missed. And I got in under him with a fork and lifted him off his feet. And he struggled for a moment like a speared fish and then went limp. And I let him fall. One of the prongs had reached his heart.
Did you get him, Marshal? Is he dead?
Yeah. Light the lamp.
I can't do it, Marshal. My fingers are too stiff.
Here, I'll do it. There. Quite a mess in here. Why don't you wait in the kitchen, Belle?
I'm all right, Marshal. But I can't help you much till I get warmed up some.
Now then, you stay by the stove, huh? I'll lug these people outside.
Thank you, Marshal. Marshal? Marshal Dillon.
What? Oh. Morning, Belle.
Come on out in the kitchen, Marshal. It's warm there, and I got some hot coffee waiting.
That sounds good. Say, it looks like the storm's lifted.
It has. The wind's gone, but it's mighty cold out.
I don't mind the cold. It's that wind that breaks a man down.
There. Get some of that in you.
Oh, you make mighty good coffee, Belle.
Tell me something, Marshal. Tell me the truth now.
Oh, sure, Belle. What is it?
Are you married?
I'd make a poor husband, Belle, for any woman.
Why?
Well, in my profession, it's too chancy.
Thank you, Marshal. Thanks for putting it that way.
Now, Belle, I didn't mean...
Forget it. I'm leaving this place, Marshal.
What?
As soon as you go, I've packed what I need and I'm clearing off.
Where'll you go?
I got 3 horses. I'll ride up to Hayes City and sell them.
Then what?
I'll buy some pretty clothes and I'll find a place. Won't be hard after this.
I wish I could help you, Belle.
You have.
Oh, but I mean...
I can take care of myself, Marshal. I just want to get away from here, that's all.
Sure. I'll stop at the nearest ranch and tell the men to come over here and take care of Hack and Alvie as soon as it warms up.
Whatever you like, Marshal.
Well, goodbye, Belle.
Goodbye, Marshal. Look me up in Hayes City next time you're there.
Sure. Sure I will. But, Belle, don't let all this make you bitter. There are a lot of good men in the world.
So they say. So long, Marshal.
So long, Belle. A few minutes later, I'd saddled up and was on the trail to Dodge. The sky was low and a slate gray all over, but there was no wind. The blizzard had gone, leaving the land still and white and bitter cold. There wasn't a sign of life anywhere. It was like riding through a vast tomb. I found myself feeling like a trespasser, as though something had gone wrong, and I wasn't supposed to be there at all.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were John Dehner as Hack, Harry Bartell as Alvie, and Vivi Janis as Belle. Gunsmoke is heard by our troops overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Starts this Monday, a new run for Road of Life, returning to CBS Radio to join the rest of your daytime listening favorites at the Star's address. Road of Life, telling the day-to-day story of surgeon-scientist Dr. Jim Brent, will keep your interest at a high point every Monday through Friday on most of these same stations. Remember, starting this coming Monday, Road of Life in its 16th year will be heard again on CBS Radio. Roy Rowan speaking. America now listens to 105 million radio sets and listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Would you like it if I dug up some soap operas? I have some that would be going off our usual, the way I do things. They'd all be from different dates, not from the same date, but I could grab some if that would be of interest to you. Let me know. Classicradio.stream's the webpage. You can contact us there or through our Facebook or Twitter feeds. Let's see. Now, what do we want to do? Oh, Classic Radio WC on the Twitter or X machine. Alrighty, that was Gunsmoke from 71 years ago, December 27th, 1952. John Dehner will be back as Paladin in Have Gun Will Travel. That's coming up next.
Are you saving old newspapers, magazines, paper bags, and boxes? Paper is a vital war material, and there's a serious shortage. Sell your waste paper or give it to a local charity. And now we move out of the theater and into the street.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Have Gun Will Travel starring John Dehner. 64 years ago, December 27th, 1959, The Marriage About Face.
This situation is so mixed up with Chinese custom, family, and honor, I don't know where to turn. I'm afraid any move I make might endanger Hey Boy's life.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Psst. Huh?
Mr. Paladin.
Well, hey, boy, what in the world are you doing hiding behind that potted palm? Shh. Ooh. Sorry. Not hide and seek, hey, boy.
Oh, it's not frivolous matter, Mr. Paladin. More serious. Is Missy Wong coming down the hallway?
No, she turned into the linen room. If you're hiding from her, you can come out now.
Oh, good. Mr. Paladin, may I see you in room, please, for a discussion of most disturbing matter?
Why, certainly, hey, boy. Come on. Trouble?
Oh, my. Plenty trouble, Mr. Paladin.
About best-selling records. Here's a familiar tune about America's best-selling filter cigarette, Winston. Winston gives you real flavor, full, rich tobacco flavor. And you know, that's because only Winston has filter blend up front. Choice, flavorful tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoking. No wonder Winston tastes good. Like a cigarette should. Smoke Winston.
Go on in, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, what's the idea of trying to dodge Miss Wong? What have you been up to this time?
Oh, Mr. Paladin, hey boy cannot come face to face with Miss Wong at this moment. Hey boy confused. Hey boy crushed under a weight of most distressing problem.
Oh, come now, can't be that bad.
Oh, yes, sir, it's much worse. Here, this letter come from China today for hey boy.
Huh? Oh, I see. Well, of course, I could probably make a more intelligent comment if I could read Chinese.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, this is letter from Mei Jen, or how you say, go-between?
Go-between?
Yes, sir. Or the same like the marriage broker. This letter say go-between is come to San Francisco to settle arrangements for hey boy's marriage to his betrothed.
Your marriage to your betrothed?
Yes, Mr. Paladin. That's what it says.
Well, no wonder you didn't want to face Miss Wong. Hey, boy, do you think you've been exactly fair to her, considering you're engaged to be married to a girl in China?
Oh, but, hey, boy, forget all about engagement to marry.
Now, wait a minute. An engagement to marry is not the sort of thing that just slips one's mind.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, you no understand.
Well, shall we try again?
Marriage contract made when, hey, boy, 9 years old. Hey, boy don't know girl, never see girl. Parent make deal.
Oh, like that.
When, hey, boy, 15, he come to America. Oh, so different, many things happen. He forget.
Yes, I see.
Hey, boy, like America. Hey, boy, like Miss Wong. But now come go between those settled arrangements for marriage in China with girl, hey, boy, never seen. Hey, boy must leave America. Hey, boy must leave Miss Wong. And, oh, my.
Surely you're not obligated to go through with this thing.
Well, here is most distressing problem, Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy, mother, father, now dead. But aunts, uncles, cousins, girl, father, mother, aunts, uncles, cousins, all live in the same village in China. And hey, boy must do nothing to make her lose her face. And, hey, boy in pretty pickle, huh?
Yeah.
You help, maybe?
Well, I don't know. It's a little out of my line, eh, boy, but I can try, I guess.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Paladin.
Well, it seems to me, hey, boy, that you're going to have to make a stand.
Make a stand?
That's right. I realize how important it is to save face and to avoid bringing dishonor to the families, but you'll just have to be firm. What's the girl's name?
Her name, May. Her father, Gi Kung.
Gi Kung. Any connection with the Gi family here in San Francisco?
Oh, yes, sir.
Is it the Gi family that controls the Gi Sun Yap Tong?
Yes, sir. Same family.
I guess that's the most powerful tong in San Francisco's Chinatown.
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, they can call it a Chinese Mutual Benefit Association, but I guess you know as well as I do that they have their fingers on every underworld activity on the Barbary Coast.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. How about Gi Kum Ho, the Tong Hatchet Man, also known as Bloody Pete?
Oh, Bloody Pete. He May's brother.
Ooh.
Well, you see, Mr. Paladin, very essential, hey, boy, not bring dishonor to family.
Oh, yes, I'm beginning to understand. Losing face takes on a new meaning. You tangle with Bloody Pete, and you're apt to lose your whole head.
Oh, my.
One thing, hey, boy, you're going to have to face Miss Wong and explain this whole thing to her.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
Can you make the passing grade in driving? In other words, do you know and do you use what you know about safe passing practices? Almost every driver finds it necessary to pass other drivers at times. The problem is doing it safely. Here are some passing tips from the National Safety Council. Be sure there's plenty of time to pass before meeting another vehicle coming toward you. See that no other vehicle is about to pass you. Give a left turn signal for the driver behind and make sure he sees it. Sound your horn for the driver ahead and make sure he hears it. Speed up a little before leaving your lane, not after you get alongside the vehicle you're passing. Don't cut back into the right-hand lane too soon. And always pass on the left, unless the driver ahead has signaled his intention to make a left turn. Pass, friend, but do it safely.
I wanted to help, hey, boy, but when I began to weigh the odds, I was doubtful of success. The opposing force was too strong. 4,000 years of custom and tradition, and the most powerful organization in San Francisco's Chinatown, the Gi Sung Yap Tong. Even more discouraging was the fact that Hey Boy's prospective brother-in-law was none other than the highbinder known as Bloody Pete, chief of the Tong's professional murderers. I felt I would never fully understand Chinese custom, but I knew all I needed to know about killers. I thought about it all through the night, and in the morning it seemed so hopeless that for a moment I allowed myself to wonder what San Francisco would be like without Hey Boy. It was very depressing. Also, I hated the thought of facing poor little Miss Wong. Come in. Oh. Good morning, Miss Wong.
Good morning, morning, Mr. Paladin. All right, clean rooms now?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, Miss Wong. Go right ahead.
Ta-la-la, boomty. Ta-la-la, boomty. Oh, ta-la-la, boomty. Ta-la, boomty.
Miss Wong, you seem so light-hearted this morning.
Oh, yes, Miss Wong, most time light-hearted.
Have you seen Hey Boy?
Yes, sir.
But did he have a chance to talk to you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Regarding a very grave matter?
Hey, boy, tell Miss Wong about marriage contract with girl in China.
But you, Miss Wong...
Why, Mr. Paladin?
Nothing, I guess, except that it's constantly being brought home to me.
What, Mr. Paladin?
You can't figure women. I thought you'd be heartbroken, or at least angry.
Oh, you smart man, Mr. Paladin. Hey, boy, smart man. You fixed.
It's nice you have such confidence in us, but I'm not so sure.
Oh, almost forgot. This letter come for you.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. This is from Mr. Sui Lee Tsung.
Yes, sir. He go between. Come to make arrangements for Hey, boy.
I see now. The illustrious great one who bears noble firearm and whose honorable will it is to journey forth always in benevolence, yet reaping great treasure, will receive the lowly inferior self of Sui Li Tsung on the 5th day of the 7th moon of the 14th year of Kwang Su.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
He want to know if man who have gone will travel will see Mr. Tsung week from next Tuesday.
Well, why didn't he say so?
He did.
Oh. Well, I wonder why he wants to see me. On Tuesday, the 5th day of the 7th moon of the 14th year of Kwang Su, I served tea to the lowly inferior self of Sui Li Tsung. Mr. Tsung was a short, round man with a smooth, plump face and shrewd eyes. He wore an elaborate purple brocade robe and carried a delicate ivory fan in his small, dimpled hand. The fan fluttered continuously as he talked, and he talked a great deal. But as the afternoon wore on, I wondered when he was going to say something.
Excellency, this pitiable one is indeed honored to be at one time know the pleasure of such a cup of tea and to realize its pleasure in the presence of the esteemed one.
Yes, may I fill your cup, Mr. Tsung?
No, thank you. The great one of benevolent travel has been given a vast treasure to have permitted this unworthy to share his costly time thus far.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you have to be leaving.
Alas, the joy of such a meeting, rare and precious as it is, must, like all good things, come to an end. Deplorable one that I am.
What?
So entranced was I with the delight of each passing moment partaken in the presence of the noble one, that this poor muddlehead has experienced a lapse of memory. But now it comes to me, a matter to bring to the great one's attention.
Sit down, Mr. Tsung. So, now maybe we'll get to the point.
I beg your pardon?
What's on your mind? I'm sure you didn't ask to come up here today so we could have a cup of tea together.
If the great one will only allow this unworthy
please, Mr. Tsung, I don't wish to be rude, but if the unworthy one doesn't wish to waste any more of the great one's costly time, let's stop all this nonsense and get down to business. Now, what do you want?
Very well, to business. We will discuss conditions of the wedding of Kim Chang.
Hey, boy.
Ah, yes, Hey Boy, the small name by which he is known to you. Now, you, as his benefactor...
Benefactor? I'm his friend.
We will assume that as his friend, you will in this case wish to place yourself in the position of benefactor as well. Now, there's the matter of the prescribed wedding gifts you're offering in the tradition to the family of the bride.
Well, I don't understand, Mrs. Tsung. Is it according to tradition to go outside the immediate family in this case?
Gi Kung, father of the bride, is generous enough to allow you as benefactor to share in their rejoicing.
I see.
May is the only daughter of Gi Kung. In view of this fact, he feels that besides the conventional ceremonial gifts, there should be an offering of substantial reality.
How substantial?
I believe he estimates in American dollars 5,000 would be of sufficient substance.
Well, Mr. Sung, it is more than kind of Gi Kung to permit me to take part in this happy occasion and to share in his rejoicing to the amount of a $5,000 donation. But, you see, I'm opposed to this marriage. And if there's anything I can do to stop the ridiculous thing, I will.
Oh, my. That would be most unwise. The Gi family is a proud one. They could not bear the loss of face. May I humbly suggest it would be far more prudent to accept Gi Kung's indulgent offer.
More prudent? What do you mean?
Are you acquainted with Gi Kum Ho of your city?
You mean Bloody Pete?
Yes. He is so devoted to his only sister, I am afraid he would feel the necessity to avenge any dishonor brought to her.
That sounds pretty much like a threat.
As an Occidental, you would never understand.
I don't know, Mrs. Sung. I believe a deal like this is recognized all over the world as blackmail. When I mentioned blackmail to Sui Lee Tsung, he merely smiled, bowed his head a couple of times, fluttered his fan, and assured me that the lowly one's soul had known a feast in the time spent in the illustrious one's presence, or something like that, and he left. He apparently felt we had reached an agreement. As a matter of fact, I wasn't quite sure myself. The whole thing was so outrageous, I was confused. Several weeks passed, and we heard nothing from the Gi family. I was getting anxious. Hey Boy was getting pale and thin. Only Miss Wong seemed undisturbed.
You not finish your breakfast, Mr. Paladin.
I don't have much appetite. The situation with Hey Boy seems to me I should be doing something.
Oh, poor Hey Boy.
Well, I'm at a loss, Miss Wong. I'm afraid any move I make may endanger Hey Boy.
Bloody Pete, bad man.
Well, even if I faced him, there'll still be the rest of the Gi Sung Yap Tong to uphold the honor of the family. I can't fight them all.
Mr. Paladin, you fool around with all customs. You have to fight all China.
You believe in this stuff, Miss Wong?
Miss Wong, Chinese girl. Miss Wong understand, but Miss Wong raised in missionary school. Miss Wong think different.
You don't seem to be as upset about all this as we are.
Miss Wong know one thing. Girls, girls. Boys, boys.
Well, yes. I've been aware of that for some time.
Hey boy, not see girl in China. He not want to marry. He like Miss Wong.
Yeah?
Girl in China, not see hey boy. Maybe she not want to marry. Maybe she have boyfriend.
Oh, Miss Wong, as I understand it, doesn't work that way.
Way.
No. Chinese girl wouldn't dare go against her parents' wishes in a case like this. That would really bring disgrace on the family.
Sometimes Chinese girl do, Mr. Paladin, sometime.
Well, I don't think it's anything to depend on.
We wait and see.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Well, that's Hey Boy. Come in, Hey Boy.
Oh, Mr. Paladin.
What's the matter?
Downstairs, in lobby, come this way. Bloody Pete, Sui Lee Seung, many men carry baskets on shoulders. Oh, many things.
You mean they're coming up here?
Yes, sir.
Well, don't worry, Hey Boy. They wouldn't dare start anything here in the hotel.
Oh.
I can't see what reason they're... Well, anyway, I'd better have my gun ready.
Oh, they here already, Mr. Paladin?
Well, we'll see what they have to say. Right now, you just stand back, both of you. Mr. Sung?
Most illustrious one, I come with bowed head to your door as escort to the first son of the House of Gi, who walks in shame to this meeting.
What are you talking about?
May we enter?
All right. Just you, Tsung, and the first son of the House of Gi here. Your gang can stay outside. All right, now, what's on your mind?
Kim Ho of the afflicted House of Gi wishes to prostrate himself at the feet of Chang of the noble House of Kim, family name of the one you call Hey Boy.
Ta-pu, Asieng, Wo-shin, Chen.
Look at that. I never thought I'd see the day Bloody Pete would be kneeling in front of Hey Boy. What did he say?
He say, I'm not a human being. Very sad thing to say.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, what happened?
I'm not sure, Hey Boy. What's the meaning of this, Tsung?
The House of Gi mourns the loss of its only daughter.
Hey Boy's betrothed? You mean she's dead?
She is dead to the House of Gi. She has brought shame and dishonor to her family and brought a great wrong to bear on Kim Chung, whom you call Hey Boy.
How?
Word has come that she has in disgrace deserted her home to secretly marry an unworthy from the next province.
Oh, indeed. What humiliation. And how does the House of Gi propose to restore face to the House of Kim?
The House of Gi grovels in the dust and begs that Chung of the House of Kim will in grace accept the gifts the bearers hold. May I ask them to enter?
You mean all those men out there have presents for Hey Boy, whom you call Kim Chang?
Yes.
Sure, bring him in. You might as well tell Pete there he can get up now. Well, that's quite a windfall, Hey Boy, all those gifts.
Oh, yes. Oh, Mr. Paladin. Oh, my. Hey Boy, I'm plenty confused.
Well, so am I. About one thing. Miss Wong,
Yes, sir.
how does it happen you were able to call a turn on this thing?
Oh, well...
Oh, come on. I know girls are girls and boys are boys. And you had it figured May had a boyfriend someplace, but... No, there has to be more to it than that. Now, what?
Mr. Paladin, you know cousin to Miss Wong named Sun Yap?
Don't believe I do.
Well, Sun Yap, nice boy, but most ugly boy ever lived.
Uh-huh.
Well, Miss Wong sent picture of Sun Yap to Chinese girl, right on him, Hey Boy name.
So she thought it was a picture of Hey Boy?
Oh, yes, Miss Wong only take chance, but Miss Wong think maybe Chinese girl rather lose face than spend all lifetime with face of Sun Yap. See? Oh, good, please, must get to work. Da-da-da, boom, da-da-da, boom.
Women.
Oh, you saw Mr. Paladin. Whew. Women.
Oh, brother, this miserable cold and my sinuses.
Haven't you heard about Dristan? Dristan decongestant tablets not only help drain all 8 sinus cavities, critical areas of cold's infection, but circulating through the blood, Dristan reaches all congested areas. In one fast-acting, uncoated 3-layer tablet, Dristan, for the first time, combines
a decongestant to shrink all swollen membranes, relieve pressure and pain.
An exclusive anti-allergent to help keep breathing passages dry and clear.
Pain relievers to ease body aches, reduce fever.
Vitamin C to help build body resistance. This is Dristan. Today, Dristan is widely imitated, but the exclusive Dristan formula cannot be duplicated. For real relief from cold's misery and sinus congestion, there's nothing like Dristan decongestant tablets.
Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Paris and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hey Boy, Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong, and Edgar Barrier as Sui Li Tsung. Tonight's story was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ann Dowd. This is Hugh Douglas inviting you to join us again next week when CBS Radio presents Have Gun Will Travel.
Women do have their ways, don't they? 64 years ago, December 27th, 1959, Have Gun Will Travel here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll head from the Old West and head to comedy now with an episode of the Harold Peary Show and Life with Luigi. That'll be coming up shortly here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
In a few seconds, faces and places in the news. But first, a reminder that the second war loan drive is now underway. This is a concern of all the people. $13 billion is a lot of money. It must be raised, and soon. Some of that money has to be yours. Buy an extra war bond every payday.
On our Thursday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, crime drama will head with Jack Webb and Dragnet, an episode of Suspense, the 32nd day of December, starring Frank Lovejoy, actually Mr. and Mrs. Frank Lovejoy. The FBI in Peace and War and the Fix, an episode of Gangbusters, and the case of the torture trio, and Mr. District Attorney, David Bryan starring in that one from 1952, and The Vanishing Runner. That'll all be coming up tomorrow. So a criminal edition of Classic Radio Theater. For you to miss it would be absolutely criminal. And now, the Harold Peary Show, December 27th, 1950, 73 years ago, as Honest Harold the Homemaker planning to go to the New Year's dance.
The Harold Peary Show. And now, Harold Peary as Honest Harold the Homemaker. Well, let's look in on the little town of Melrose Springs this crisp December evening. Honest Harold, like the rest of us, is in that pleasantly dazed holiday condition. He is just recovering from Christmas in time to build up his strength for New Year's. Right now, he's bidding goodnight to his new romance, the lovely Theodora.
Oh, this has been a wonderful week, Haroldy Waroldy.
Sure has, Theodora. I've seen you every night.
I just love the holiday season, don't you?
Yeah. I'll never forget Christmas Eve when I gave you that wristwatch. You threw yourself in my arms and kissed me. Remember?
Do I?
Let's try that again, shall we?
But, Harold, how could we ever recapture that special moment? Christmas, the wristwatch.
Well, you sing Jingle Bells and I'll start ticking. Yeah.
Oh, Harold.
Oh, well, I guess I can wait. Tomorrow night's New Year's Eve. And you know what happens at 12 o'clock? Auld Lang Syne is kissing time.
Harold.
Yeah.
You haven't told me where we're going New Year's Eve.
I want to wait and surprise you. I won't tell you till tomorrow.
All right, Teddy Bear.
Theodora.
Yes.
How about a little kiss?
Now, Harold, you'll have to wait till New Year's Eve.
Oh. Isn't it strange, Theodora? New Year's Eve comes at different times all over the world. Why, right now, probably it's New Year's Eve in Honolulu.
It is?
Yeah. Pucker up, Theodora.
Harold.
Yakahula hickey doola.
You're not eating your breakfast.
Huh? Well, Mother, I was just thinking about New Year's Eve party tonight and what a good time Theodora and I are going to have.
Oh, I think it's nice the way you and your old friends get together and have a party every New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they can have their big city swanky affairs. I bet we have a lot more fun right here in Melrose Springs at our New Year's barn dance.
Yes, we love the dear hearts and gentle people that live in our hometown.
That's right, Mother. We may have cider instead of champagne and play corny games like pin the tail on the donkey, but it's fun.
Oh, yes. Remember last year's party when Dr. Yancey was trying to pin the tail on the donkey and he jabbed the pin in one of the guests?
Yeah. That was me. That's when I was bobbing for apples, Mother.
I suppose Theodora thinks a barn dance is quite a novelty.
Well, I haven't told her yet. I thought I'd surprise her.
Oh, Harold, don't you think you should tell her? She might expect something fancier. You know, she's from Kansas City.
No, she'll love it, Mother.
Well, I think
Say, I told Doc and Pete I'd help them decorate the barn this morning. I better get over there.
But you ought to drop by Theodora's and let her know what she's supposed to wear tonight.
Where? Oh, I'll see you later, Mother. I'll tell her to wear a gingham dress. She'll look like Daisy May. And I'll be her little Abner.
Shall I pass the Kickapoo Joy Juice, son?
What? Mother. Oh, brother. See you later. Yeah, Doc and Pete should be out here in the barn. Hello, Doc, old friend.
Oh, hello, Harold.
Where's Pete?
Oh, he's downtown getting the bunting.
The bunting. Oh, say, the barn's starting to look fine, Doc. You must have done a lot of work this morning.
Oh, not so much. All I did was tack up the streamers, make the sign.
Okay, Doc.
Mix the potato salad, buy the cider.
Yeah, that's great.
Slice the hot dog rolls, tune the musical chairs.
Yes. Well, I bet we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And Theodora's just going to love it. Apple bobbing, square dancing, sack racing. Just think. Maybe the two of us will be in the same sack.
I didn't know you cared, Harold.
Not you, Doc. Theodora.
Oh.
Well, happy 1951, boy.
Well, hello, Pete, old pal. Did you bring the bunting?
Bunting? Oh, Shaw, I knew I forgot something.
Oh, Pete.
Well, I've been busy, boy. Don't forget, I'm chairman of the door prize committee.
Did you get some good prizes, Pete?
I sure did. I got the Elks to donate the grand prize.
Oh?
A free, all-expense-paid 90-day vacation to Charlieville.
Yeah. A 90-day vacation? Won't that cost them a lot of money?
No, it's just a round-trip bus ticket. You can return any time within 90 days.
Very funny, Pete. We've got to get this barn decorated. Why don't you run down now and get that bunting? Huh?
All right. Oh, Harold, before I go, maybe you'd like to hear Doc and me rehearse.
Rehearse?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Harold. Pete and I are going to perform a little New Year's pageant at the party tonight.
A pageant?
Yes. I'm going to be Father Time, and Pete'll be the baby New Year.
Oh, my goodness, baby New Year.
Yeah. I come out dressed in a ribbon.
Look, fellas, how about decorating the barn?
At the stroke of midnight, I come out as Father Time. It's a real character part. And I say, well, another 365 days have gone by. That makes another year.
No kidding.
So ring out the old and ring in the new. Ring in the new. Okay, Pete.
Oh.
Oh, what was that? Aha! 'Tis baby New Year.
Sounds like the noon whistle at the mattress factory. Fellas, how about...
Greetings, everyone. I am baby New Year.
Oh.
I was just born. Goo, goo, goo.
Goodbye. I'll see you fellas later. That Pete.
I am baby New Year.
Horrible actors, but nice fellas, though. We're going to have a swell time tonight.
Station coach JP. Just a moment, I'll connect you.
Oh, good morning, Laurie.
Oh, good morning, Harold.
Is our dear boss Stanley Peabody in?
Yes, he is.
Thought maybe I'd ask him to our barn dance tonight. He's an old prissy pants, but what the heck? It's New Year's.
Because Raymond and I are going to a party tonight at my girlfriend's.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, she goes with a fellow in the Navy. He's a chief petting officer.
Laurie, you got that wrong. He's not a petting officer.
Well, according to my girlfriend, he is.
Oh, goodness.
And Harold, if you want to, you can use that joke on your radio program. There's no charge.
There's no joke either. See you later, Gloria. Everybody's a comic around here. See if Stanley wants to go to the party.
Come in. Oh, hello, Hemp.
Well, Happy New Year, Stanley, old friend.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Get it? Hey, why don't we have a drink to that?
A drink? Well,
yes, let me pour you a glass of yogurt.
No, thanks, Stanley. I'll skip this round. Stanley, we're having our big New Year's party in Doc Yancey's barn tonight. Thought you might like to join us.
In Doc Yancey's barn?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hemp, but I've already made my plans for tonight.
Oh?
I'm going to the formal dance at the Antler Hotel in the Moose Room.
Yeah.
Everyone will be wearing tails.
In the Moose Room, I guess.
Yes, it'll be quite swanky.
Yeah?
I'm taking Miss Abigail Turner. She's one of the Turners, you know. Her family came here over 100 years ago.
Yeah, she looks it. Well, sorry you can't make it, Stanley. I know Theodora and I'll have a wonderful time.
You mean Theodora consented to go to this barn dance?
Well, I haven't told her yet, but I know she'll love it.
Oh, Hemp, you fool you.
Huh?
Theodora's a sophisticated girl. To her, New Year's Eve means formal dress, dinner, imported champagne.
Well, our cider's imported from Charlieville.
Taking Theodora to that hayseed affair.
What?
How can you be such a hick?
I hate him.
Cider imported from Charlieville. You kill me.
I better get out of here before I take him up on that. Old Peabody can't scare me. I'll bet Theodora will love that barn dance. What if it is corny? I'm a little corny myself. That's the kind of a girl I want. One I can settle down with and raise little corn muffins. She's from a big town, though. Kansas City. They have storm drains there. Well, I'll kind of fish around and find out. Hope she's in.
Who is it?
It's Harold.
Have a chair. I'll be right there.
What am I worried about? She's corny, all right.
Hello, curly lashes.
Curly lashes. Hello, Theo.
Oh, I bet you came over to tell me where you're taking me tonight.
Well, you see...
Come on now, tell Theodora.
Theodora, how about playing a little game first?
We played Spin the Bottle the last time you were here.
That's when I brought the loaded bottle. No, this is a word game called association, Theodora. You find out what the other person is thinking.
Oh.
I mention a word to you, and you say whatever it makes you think of. Are you ready?
Well, all righty.
Good. New Year's Eve.
Pheasant under glass.
Oop. We're having hot dogs under relish. Let's try it again, huh? New Year's Eve.
Champagne in a bucket.
We're having 7-Up in a tub. Try it once more. New Year's Eve.
Swanky supper club.
Oop.
White tie and tails.
Zeef. Maybe I can trap her. Barn dance.
Tennessee Ernie.
Zoink.
Well, now, Harold, tell me, where are you taking me tonight?
Antler Hotel, Moose Room. I'll be the third moose from the right.
We'll return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. Have you seen who's joining Bing Crosby on his show tonight? It's Dinah Shore, Louis Armstrong, and Jack Teagarden. That's just a little later this evening over most of these same CBS stations. The Bing Crosby Show. And now, back to Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, it looks as though Honest Harold's Happy New Year isn't going to be so happy. For the first time, he isn't going to see the new year in with his old friends. Instead, he's talked himself into stepping out at the Antler Hotel to make an impression on the lovely Theodora. It's afternoon now, and we find Harold dejectedly returning home.
How am I going to tell Doc and Pete I'm not coming to the barn dance tonight? fine friend I turned out to be. I'm a cad. Deserting him on New Year's Eve. Running around in moose tails.
Is that you, Harold?
I don't know, Mother.
Well, did you see Theodora?
Yeah, I did.
Is she happy about where you're taking her tonight?
Oh, yeah, she's very happy.
Oh, you two will have a wonderful time. And maybe Theodora will pin the tail on the donkey.
She did.
Oh, Harold, you just got a phone call from Dr. Yancey.
From Doc?
Yes, he thought your feelings might be hurt because you're not in the pageant tonight. Wasn't that sweet of him? I can just see the three of you at your New Year's party tonight, your arms around each other singing, "Should old acquaintance be forgotten,
Mother,
and never brought to mind."
Mother, please, you're flat.
Should old acquaintance be forgotten.
Oh, Mother! Guess I better drop in and tell Pete I can't come tonight. Might as well get it over with. He'll understand, I think. Hello, Pete.
Howdy, boy.
Yeah, Pete.
Harold, if you want to take my part in the pageant tonight, it's okie dokie with me, old friend. Here's my ribbon.
Oop. Well, thanks, Pete. But...
You'd make an awful cute baby New Year. It's an easy part to learn, boy. 4 lines and 3 goos.
Well, that's nice of you, Pete. But you see, I can't come tonight. I'm going to the formal dance at the Antler Hotel.
What? Oh, sure. You're going to the Antler Hotel, and I'm Margaret Truman.
Margaret, Pete,
Like to hear me sing a cadenza, boy?
Pete, you don't understand.
You're going to the Antler Hotel tonight. Ain't that a doozy?
Pete, this is no doozy. I'm really going there tonight. I'm taking Theodora.
Oh.
Pete, I'm really awfully sorry. I just couldn't help it.
Sure, boy.
You know I really want to be with you fellas.
Sure, boy. Harold, it's a good thing I ain't Margaret Truman. I'd tell my father on you.
Yeah, I guess Doc's in the barn here. Certainly hate to tell him about tonight. Well, I gotta do it. Well, there he is. Oh, my goodness, he's got his pet goat with him. Wonder if Pete's told him I'm not coming. Hello, Doc.
Good afternoon, Mr. Amp.
Oop, Pete told him, all right. Doc, I'd like to explain.
How does this bunting look up here?
Oh, looks swell, Doc.
I was speaking to Arthur, my goat.
Oh, excuse me.
Arthur, what would you think of a man who deserted his old friends on New Year's Eve? Yeah, you sure bleated a bibful, Arthur.
Doc, will you listen to me?
If you don't mind, I'm very busy right now. Arthur, do you like the way I've hung the bunting? Well, that's very sweet of you, thank you.
Doc, I want to come.
Arthur, I bet you wouldn't desert your fellow goats and try to horn into high society.
Horn in? Now, wait a minute.
No, sir. You wouldn't be off somewhere dining on caviar. You'd be right here with your old friends, munching tin cans.
Doc, I'd munch tin cans. I mean, I'd like to be here with you fellas tonight. You know that, don't you? Doc, old friend, don't you believe me? Say something. Not you, Arthur.
That was me, Harold.
And that was me. Goodbye.
Are you having a good time, Harold?
Oh, sure. Moose Room is very nice. Wonder what the fellows are doing at the barn dance.
You waltz beautifully.
Yeah, thank you, Theodora. It's a good thing. Guess it's all that orchestra knows. They played 3 o'clock in the morning 3 times, and it's only 9:15. What a finish. Well, shall we go back to our table?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sort of a quiet crowd for New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Look at that fellow in the corner there with a big chin. He hasn't moved for an hour.
Harold, that's a stuffed moose.
I thought he was sitting kind of high.
Harold, are you sure you're having a good time?
Good time? Oh, sure. I'm having... Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
Stanley Peabody coming with his girl. I don't want to get stuck with prissy pants. I'll duck down so he won't see me.
Oh, Harold.
Oh, hello, Theodora. Hemp, what are you doing under the table?
Under the table? I was looking for the thing. Looks like Stanley brought the thing with him.
May I present Miss Abigail Turner, Miss Theodora, and Mr. Harold Hemp.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't Abigail and I sit at your table?
Well,
Yes, you sit here, Abby Dabby.
Abby Dabby sounds like a candy bar.
Thank you.
And I'll sit here. Just think, the four of us will spend the whole evening together.
Yeah, I am thinking.
Well, shall we get into the festive mood? I think I'll blow my horn. Whoopee! Come on, Theodora, Hemp. Laugh and be gay.
Oh, brother.
Are you feeling merry, Abigail?
Oh, yes, I feel so New Year's Eve-y. I feel like singing that new popular song.
Oh?
Oh, the music goes round and round. Oh,
You know, Abigail is a debutante. Came out in 39.
Yeah, probably hasn't been out since.
Harold.
What is it?
Don't look so glum. Say something to our guest.
Oh, yeah. Having a good time, Abigail? I said, are you having a good time, Abigail?
the music goes round and round.
Oh, I feel so exhilarated. Abby.
Yes, Stanley.
Why don't you tell that uproarious riddle? Oh, Hemp, this will send you right out of the room.
Yeah, I hope so.
Go on, Abby Dabby.
Well, I asked the question, how do you get down from an elephant?
I don't know, Abigail. How do you get down from an elephant?
You don't get down from an elephant. You get down from a duck. The music goes round and round.
Stanley, not in my face.
Oh, 3 o'clock in the morning. I love that piece.
Yeah, the orchestra must love it, too. Well, Theodora, should we dance?
Hemp, suppose I have this dance with Theodora and you and Abigail can get better acquainted.
But,
come on, Theodora.
Well, all right.
But, excuse us, please. Theodora, do you like to twirl?
Oh, Mr. Hemp, isn't it fun?
Yeah, the music goes round and round. Oh,
Well, it's almost midnight. Shall we unfold our paper hats?
I ate mine. It was better than the chicken. Did you say it was almost midnight?
Almost.
Wonder what the fellows are doing at the barn dance.
Oh, the orchestra's getting ready to play, Stanley.
Oh, good.
Oh, goodness.
Abigail, shall we dance this one?
Oh, I'd love to.
Excuse us, please.
Certainly.
Harold,
Yes, Theodora.
you don't seem very happy tonight.
Happy? Oh, sure, I'm very happy. Music goes round and round.
Oh, Harold, will you excuse me for a moment? I want to speak to a friend over there.
Of course, go right ahead, Theodora.
I'll be right back.
What a clam bake. What a way to spend New Year's Eve. With Stanley Peabody instead of my old friends. Should have told Theodora about the barn dance. Let's face it, honest Harold, you're a weakling. Well, they do know another song. Why does it have to be that one? Gee, what I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. I can't forget that old quartet that sang Sweet Adeline. Goodbye forever, old fellows and gals. Goodbye forever, old sweethearts and pals. God bless 'em. Gee, but I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. Yeah, that's where I ought to be, with my old gang, with Pete and Doc and Arthur the goat. And that's where I'm going, right now.
Why, Harold, what's the matter?
Theodora, I'm sorry, but I'm going.
Going where?
To the barn dance. Should have gone there in the first place. But I knew you wouldn't want to go to a corny party like that.
Oh, Harold, why didn't you ask me?
Huh?
I wondered why you wanted to come here instead of spending New Year's with your friends.
You did?
And I'd love to go to your barn dance.
You would? Well.
Oh, Ham.
Oh, Stanley.
Whoopee! New Year's comes but once a year.
You said it, and we're not going to spend it here. Come on, Theodora. Hope we're in time, Theodora. Must be almost 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Here's the barn. Sounds kind of quiet in there. Oh, they're doing the pageant. Come on.
Ah, what was that? 'Tis baby New Year.
Good old Doc.
'Tis baby New Year. Pete!
Oh, yeah.
Look at Pete and that ribbon.
Isn't that cute?
I am baby New Year. Go, go.
No, he gets cold in that costume.
I was, yeah. Hi, Harold.
Hi, Pete, old friend.
My hair.
Hello, Doc.
Oh, I'm glad to see you. Why, it wouldn't have been New Year's without you, would it, Pete?
It sure wouldn't, boy.
Thanks. I really missed you, fellas. Say.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Harold.
Happy New Year, boy.
Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year, Theodora. Oop. Happy New Year to you, Arthur, but I'm not going to kiss you.
Well, it's time for Auld Lang Syne.
Okay, come on, fellas. You take the tenor part, Arthur. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and names of Auld Lang Syne? I know that all of you listening in tonight are anxious to hear about our Operation Santa Claus venture to Travis Air Force Base and what happened to the thousands of gifts you sent in. I have a wire from Colonel Kelly, commanding officer, that I'd like to read to you. Quote, your recent gratifying personal appearance at Travis Air Force Base will long be remembered by all who saw you. Your bright laughter and good cheer to the men who needed it most, wounded Korean veterans in the base hospital, and combat-ready servicemen bound overseas. Your huge store of gaily wrapped gifts which you personally distributed to the war-wounded and the outbound troops was especially appreciated and will not soon be forgotten. As commanding officer, I wish to take this opportunity of expressing through you my heartfelt gratitude to all the kindly people, your radio listeners, who made those thousands of gifts possible. Again, thanks to you and your troop, Harold Peary, for an appearance that brought the true spirit of Christmas to Travis Air Force Base. Joe W. Kelly, Colonel, United States Air Force, commanding. Unquote. I wish it were possible to thank all you personally for your gifts to the boys. Being able to make them a bit happier on Christmas was the most wonderful experience of my life. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart, and a Happy New Year to you all.
You have just heard the Harold Peary Show, Honest Harold. The supporting players tonight included Mari Alden, Jane Morgan, Parley Bear, Olin Soule, and Mary Jane Croft, and featured Gloria Holliday as Gloria and Joseph Kearns as Old Doc Yak Yak. Norman MacDonald directed, and the music was composed and conducted by Jack Meakin.
Pretty, too, wasn't it?
Honest Harold, created by Harold Peary, was written by Gene Stone, Jack Robinson, and Dick Powell.
Good writers.
Yes, and remember, the Rose Bowl game between Michigan and California will be broadcast next Monday, New Year's Day, exclusively over most of these same CBS stations. Stay tuned now for the Bing Crosby Show, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you thrill to suspense on Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
I got to tell you, as much as I love the great Gildersleeve, I did not enjoy the Harold Peary Show nearly as much. Quite frankly, it seemed to me just a straight-up lift of the great Gildersleeve Show. And I understand why Peary did it. It was, what he was best known for. But I wish he hadn't done it. I wish he'd gone a different direction. But he didn't, so what can we say? Harold Peary Show, 73 years ago, December 27th, 1950. J. Carrol Naish, Life with Luigi. That comes up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Every day, as the war against Japan increases in intensity, the need for waste fats and greases grows more critical. Here's one department where the enemy may be superior unless you help make up the difference from your kitchens. Save all waste fats and greases, no matter how discolored. Keep a clean can in which to strain them and take them regularly to your butcher. Remember, for every pound, he'll give you 4 cents plus 2 extra meat points.
Let's remind you that tomorrow, Dragnet, Suspense, the FBI and Peace and War, Gangbusters, and Mr. District Attorney. But right now, an episode of Life with Luigi, starring J. Carrol Naish. A very, very sweet episode from 74 years ago, December 27th, 1949, as Luigi wants to make a phone call back home.
Invite you to enjoy Life with Luigi, a new comedy show created by Cy Howard and starring that celebrated actor, Mr. J. Carrol Naish, with Alan Reed as Pasquale. Luigi Basco left Italy to start his new life in America. He promised his mother that he would write and tell her about his adventures. So now let's read Luigi's letter as he writes to Mama Basco in Italy.
Dear Mamma Mia. In a few more days is going to be the new year. Reason I'm know this is because this week 6 banks is sending me free calendars. And they all would like I should bring them some money. Mamma mia, I'm thinking it would be much better if I was to send them free calendars and they was to bring me money. But you should see these 6 calendars. 3 of them is got pictures of dogs. 1 is got a picture of a bank. Another is got a picture of the Grand Canyon. And the last one is got a picture of a beautiful girl. Mamma mia, she's wearing less clothes than Uncle Pietro's goat. Anyway, I'm going to need all these calendars, so I'm going to throw away 5 of them. Now I got something on my wall I'm always wanted. Picture of the Grand Canyon. Someday say, Mamma Mia, maybe you come to America, and you're going to see how the people here, they celebrated the New Year's. Dancing and a singing and a hollering and a whistling. Then at 12 o'clock at midnight, the lights go out, the fellas is a kiss of the girls is a kiss of the fellas. Everybody is a kiss. This is a democracy. Last New Year's Eve, when the lights was to go out, I was standing next to Pasquale's fat Theodora Rossa. Mamma mia, I thought that the whole of democracy was a fall on me. But I'm sure I'm going to have a good time with this New Year's. But one thing would make it perfect. In America, is the custom on a New Year's Eve, everybody is a call up his mama and a wish you a happy New Year. Oh, I wish I had enough money to call you up and hear your voice again. Well, there's no use to dream, but besides, it's the time I should go to my night school class, so I'm going to finish this letter later.
All right, class. Quiet. Good. Now I'll call the roll. Mr. Basco?
Here.
Mr. Horowitz?
Here.
Mr. Olson?
Here.
Mr. Schultz?
Why not?
I'm so quick on the trigger, my name should be Roy Rogers.
Mr. Schultz, please. Now, class, our lesson today is geography, and we will review the important rivers of the United States. Mr. Horowitz, you may name the 8 great rivers.
With pleasure. The Mississippi, the Potomac, the Delaware, the Ohio,
I'll give you a hint. There's one river associated with the name of an automobile.
You mean there's a Flivver River?
No. It's the Hudson.
Oh, I've stepped down into that one plenty of times.
All right, Mr. Schultz. Now, let's see if you can name another river.
The Missouri.
Well, good for you. That's excellent. Wonderful.
No, don't tell me. Just put it down on the report card.
Well, we have 5 rivers now. Can you name the other 3, Mr. Schultz?
Well, there's the Schwani.
The Swanee is not an important river, Mr. Schultz.
Oh, Al Scholzen should hear you say that.
Please, Mr. Schultz. Now, who can name the other 3 rivers? Mr. Basco?
Uh-huh.
Miss Spaulding, if you wish, I could give you the whole correct answer.
Well, please do, Mr. Olson.
Yo-ho. Miss Spaulding, shall I name the 8 rivers alphabetically or according to size?
Just call out their names, Olson, and they'll answer present.
Oh, keep quiet, Schultz, and learn something. The rivers are the Hudson, the Delaware, the Potomac, the Mississippi, the Ohio, the Missouri, the Columbia, and the Colorado.
Good for you.
Yo-ho. I might also add, other great rivers include the Susquehanna River, the St. Lawrence, the James, the Cumberland River,
Thank goodness he's passing through a dry state now.
Schultz, you are just jealous of my knowledge of geography. Instead of acting like a jackass, why don't you be something like me? Always studying and reading and learning. But I bet you I have 100 books in my head.
Look at him, what a horrible-looking bookcase.
Mr. Schultz, that will be enough. You could spend more time studying. And that goes for you, too, Mr. Horowitz. And you, Mr. Basco.
Mississippi, the Ohio, the Hudson.
Mr. Basco, we've had the answer. What are you thinking about, anyway?
Well, excuse me, Miss Spaulding, but as soon as it's going to be New Year's Eve, and I'm going to have enough money to call my mama on the telephone.
Oh, poor Luigi. He is homesick.
Stop, Olson. Luigi is here with us. How can he be homesick? Smile, Luigi. I'm just trying to cheer you up.
Luigi, how much would it cost to make a telephone call from Chicago to Italy? Well, how much does it cost to make a call?
Yeah, how much?
I was asked a long-distance operator. She's told me it's the cost with the government to tax $15 the first 3 minutes, $5 each the next minute.
If you give a hiccup by mistake, you lost $3.
Yes, it is quite expensive. If you should speak to your mother for only 10 minutes, it would cost about $50.
Gee, that's a lot of money for a phone call.
True. But when you want to talk to your mother, $1,000 ain't too much. Wait, Luigi, I got an idea for you. Why don't you lend the $50 from your friend Pasquale?
Mr. Horowitz, it is not lend, it is borrow $50 from Pasquale.
What's the difference? Either way, he ain't gonna get it. Luigi, I got it a better idea. Go into Pasquale's store when he's not there and make the call on his telephone.
No, thanks, Schultz. But now I know what I'm going to do. It's hard to get money from a Pasquale, but maybe he's going to let me use his telephone, and when the bill is come, I'm going to pay him out little by little.
That's a good idea, Luigi, are you a smart cop? Smile. And what if you don't pay him back so quick? What can Pasquale do to you? Can he sue you in court? Can he take away your store? Can he make you marry his daughter, Rosa?
Schultz, can he?
About the zooing in the house, I don't know. But about Rosa, on that I can give you my guarantee.
Luigi, my friend. Hello, Luigi. Hello.
Hello, Pasquale. Pasquale, I want to ask you a bigger favor about a New Year's Eve.
Sure, little banana nose. You know anything I'm got is yours, and my house, and my food, and my clothes, my daughter Rosa.
Well, Pasquale, thank you very much for your house, your food, and your clothes.
What about my daughter Rosa?
You're welcome. No, Pasquale, please forget about her.
I will, after you marry her.
Pasquale, I'm going to come here to ask you a bigger favor first, so let us not to fight.
All right. What's your bigger favor? Money?
Well, there's a phone call I'm like to make tomorrow night with your telephone.
All right. Who you going to call?
Italy.
But you crazy people don't call up countries, they call up people.
Huh?
What are you going to do? Call up Italy and say, hello, Italy, what do you hear from the Alps? That's crazy.
No, Pasquale, you don't give me a chance to explain. I'm like to call my mama on a New Year's Eve.
And on my telephone, that's cost about $1,000.
No, Pasquale, only about $50. And I'm promise you I'm going to pay you back.
Luigi, maybe we'll make a little deal.
Huh?
You know, on the outside, I'm looking like I'm a hard man, but deep down, you know, I'm filled with the milk of human kindness. And for you, there's always a couple of big squirts.
Oh, thank you, Pasquale. You're the biggest squirt I know.
That's the funny thing. When I'm saying it, come out different.
Yeah, but Pasquale, what is this deal you was talking about?
Well, Luigi, it's a strictly business. I'm willing to lend you the $50 for my own personal loan company, the Pasquale Finance Corporation.
Oh, thank you, Pasquale.
And as long as it's going to be business, you got to have a co-signer, somebody who's married.
Well, all right, I'm going to get a Schultz.
No, it must be a female married, the co-signer.
Well, all right, Mrs. Schultz.
Also, she's got to be married to my son-in-law, and his name is got to be Luigi.
Pasquale, you mean to get us some money, I'm going to marry Rosa?
Hello, my son.
Goodbye, Papa. No, Pasquale, you give me a good idea. I'm going to the real finance company and get to this loan myself.
Who's going to give you a loan, you broken doll? Wait. Luigi, I'm not got no hard feelings. Matter of fact, I'm got a big pull with the businessman's loan company on a 4th of the Dearborn.
Huh?
You get down there right away now. You mention my name as your co-signer. You get the money in a minute.
Oh, thank you, Pasquale. I'm glad you're not married to me. I'm going down there right now.
Sure. Go. Sure, I'm going to help him get that money. I'm just giving him enough rope so he's electrocute himself. Hello, a businessman loan company? Oh, Mr. Fantetti, hello, that's Pasquale. I'm just to send a friend down to see you. His name was Luigi Basco. He's a very nice little pumpkin head. I'm going to co-sign his loan for him because he's got a very fine character. Oh, yes, he's just got a new job. He's working in a pool room. Also, in his spare time, he's laying a chickie for a float in the crab game. Oh, this boy's full of talent, yes. Huh? What he wants to use the loan of money for? Well, you see, right now he's a little short, but I guarantee if his horse wins the race, you're going to get all of your money back with interest. You going to give him the loan? Hello? They hung up on me. I wonder why.
For the second act of Luigi Basco's adventures in Chicago, we turn to page 2 of his letter to his mother in Italy.
And so, Mamma Mia, I went to that loan company. Sign out the side as it said, businessman's loan company. Who will lend you $100 on your signature? I figured out I'm write only my first name and I take a 50. But then a man on the side is asking me a lot of questions. How much money am I got in the bank? Stocks, bonds, and insurance. Then he's add up all of these things, and he's find out I'm worth nothing. This I could have told him when I walked in. But then he says, who's your co-signer? And I'm told him Pasquale. Next thing I know, I'm on a street car going home. Well, Mamma Mia, in a few more hours is going to be New Year's Eve. And a lot of Americans, they're going to be telephoning their mamas to say hello. But not to me because I'm still not able to get money for the phone call.
Luigi, my fellow boob.
Hello, Schultz.
Well, how did you make it out with Pasquale?
Schultz, I don't understand what's happening. Because I'm no one to marry Rossi. He's no one to give him the money, so he's sending me to the finance company. But they don't want to lend me the money to anybody who's a shiny shoes in a pool room and is a co-signer is a horse.
Ach, Luigi, are you verschimmelt?
Sure, so what am I going to do? I'm feeling terrible.
What can you do? Smile, Luigi. So if it ain't this year, maybe you'll call her next year. Anyway, I ain't going to let you be so depressed. Tonight, me and my happy little family, we are having a New Year's Eve party, and you are going to join us.
Well, thanks, Schultz, but I'm not...
Stop! You're going to love it. But there'll be me, my wife, my 3 children, cousin Hugo, Uncle Tom, my brother Wolfgang, his wife, their 2 children, Uncle Karl, Aunt Frieda, the 4 little nephews, my grandfather Max, his girlfriend, and the rest of the family.
But Schultz, you only got 2 rooms. How you going to make a room for so much people?
It's New Year's Eve, so we raise the roof. Oh, smile, Luigi. But what do you say? Are you coming to my party?
Sure, it's nice you should invite me, but...
No buts. Ach, Luigi, we got in such fun every New Year's Eve. There will be food and drink and balloons and crazy hats and horns and the radio always playing and the kids hollering.
Yeah, but sure, so what about the neighbors?
Let them make their own party. Oh, Luigi, we got in such fun. At 12 o'clock sharp, Grandpa Max goes around and kisses everybody in the room. Oh, and when he does that, I laugh hysterically.
Why, sure, sir?
His beard tickles my chin. Ach, Luigi, I see it's no use. That phone call is on your mind. But remember, any time tonight, the fun is waiting for you.
Well, thank you, sure.
Good, good. Now, give me a smile before I leave. That's better. Now be like me, Luigi, happy, always laughing. Ooh. My rheumatism is killing me.
Well, soon everybody's going to be calling their mamas and not to me. If the telephone company was only to know how much I'm a miss of this, they would surely lend me one along a distance call. They would lend me one along a distance call. Sure, why not? Mamma mia, it's only 4 o'clock. The companies are not closed yet. I'm going to downtown right now and talk with the president of the telephone company. Oh, look at the streets. Already people are starting to celebrate. Oh, there's the telephone company. This is so big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 12, 15, 16 windows in the ground floor. Well, there's no use to stand outside. I'm going to go in. Pardon me, lady.
Yes?
You work for this telephone company?
That's right. I'm a chief operator.
I'm Luigi Basco, State 42701. You recognize my voice?
Hardly. I've got to report for duty upstairs. Whom do you wish to see?
Well, I was thinking I would like to see the president, a fellow who's owner of the telephones, Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell? Oh, you can't be serious. He died years ago.
Oh, poor fella. Then maybe I can see Mrs. Bell.
She's dead, too.
Mr. and Mrs. Bell, they had some sons?
Well, I would imagine so.
Well, good. Then, please, maybe I speak to one of the Bell boys.
Sir, maybe I could help you if you told me what you came here about.
Well, it's about a telephone call. It's a telephone call I'm going to borrow because it's soon New Year's Eve. And I ain't got the cash to pay for long distance to call it to my mom and me in Italy.
Oh, well, are you a customer?
Oh, sure. Whenever I'm going to make a call, I'm going to use only the telephone.
I think the man you want to see is Mr. Hawkins. His office is right down the hall.
Oh, thank you. And you know, you're a very pretty girl.
Oh, thank you. What did you say was your problem?
That's all right. I'm going to see the man. Mr. Hopkins, hope he's a nice man. What is a hurt nothing to ask? Here. Robert E. Hawkins, general manager. Man who manages the generals must be pretty important. Well, I'm going.
Yes?
Hello.
Who are you?
Luigi Basco, State 42701. Remember? Every month you send me a bill.
Have a seat, Mr. Basco. I'll join you in a minute.
What?
I said have a seat. I'll join you in a minute.
You think this chair is going to hold the both of us?
Now, Mr. Basco, you came here for a reason. What is it?
Oh, it's a very important, Mr. Hopkins. It's a very big favor I'm going to ask you.
Yes?
Oh, thank you. I didn't think you would say yes so quick.
Mr. Basco, what did you come here for?
Well, a few hours is going to be New Year's Eve. And everybody, they're going to call up at their mamas to wish them a happy New Year.
Yes, that's very true. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that very thing myself.
Well, I'm going to telephone Mr. Hopkins, and I'm going to like to call my mom in Italy. But it's going to cost $50.
I get it.
Oh, no, you're not going to get it because I'm not got it. You see, $50 is more than I can afford to pay in 1 month.
Well, what did you expect me to do about it?
Lend me the telephone call.
What?
Sure. Just don't put on the bill. And instead, I'm going to pay you out the $4.50 a month for a year. Or maybe, if you like, every week, I'm going to bring $1 to your house.
Mr. Basco, please.
Don't say no. I'm going to give you $3 a deposit right now.
I can't.
Then I no talking to my mama for 10 minutes. I'm talking for 8 minutes.
No.
Wait, I'm going to ask her about Uncle Pietro and his goat. So it's going to take only 5 minutes.
Mr. Basco.
How much does it cost if I'm just to say hello and a goodbye?
I'm very sorry, Mr. Basco. Really, I'd like to help you out, but I'm part of a big business concern, and things aren't done that way.
I'm understanding, Mr. Hopkins.
No hard feelings, I trust.
You try so good. I'm going to pay you back every week.
Mr. Basco, I'm afraid you misunderstood. I can't help you.
Huh? Oh. Well, goodbye, Mr. Hawkins. And just the same as always, I'm still going to do all of my telephone business with you company. Goodbye. Mamma mia, I'm tried everything, but looks like there's no use. I'm not going to be able to make it a call. Well, and now I'm going to go outside and go home. Oh, look at those crowds. Still not the 12 o'clock of midnight already. Everybody's in the streets.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Thank you, and a Happy New Year to you, too.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What's the matter, you a wise guy?
No.
You want to start a fight?
No, I want to go home.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, lady. Happy New Year. Well, I'm up and up. Going to my store, maybe go to sleep.
Hi, buddy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's celebrate. How's about a nightcap?
No, thanks. I'm never sleeper with a hat.
Hey, you're in a worse condition than I am.
Excuse me. I'm going inside of my store.
Hello, what's your hurry? What's your hurry?
Oh, it's too bad. Poor man, is there something wrong?
No. It's just that every New Year's Eve I get to think of my mother. Oh, my mother. She was just like a father to me. And my father, he was just like a mother to me.
Nice.
You know, for the last 3 years I've been going to a psychoanalyst. And that's no good.
Why?
He's just like a brother to me.
Well, that's too bad. Happy New Year, and I hope everything is straightened out for you.
Straighten out? Ain't I stiff enough?
Well, poor man, I'm better drag him in the hallway.
Hey, Luigi, that's no way to get him money for the telephone call, rolling the drunks.
No, Pasquale. I'm going to give up all ideas about the phone call. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going into my store and I go to sleep.
Sleep? What are you talking? In a few minutes, it's going to be midnight. Let's celebrate.
No, Pasquale, I'm going to feel like to celebrate.
Oh, stop. Don't say such a thing. Let's me and you and Rosa, we go walking on a Michigan Boulevard. We watch Rosa push in the crowd a little, eh? Don't answer. I'll call her in now. Rosa! Rosa! Rosa!
You called me!
Yes, my little Cupid doll. Rosa, say hello to Luigi.
Hello, Luigi.
Hello, Rosa.
Rosa, any minute it's going to be 12 o'clock. What are you going to do?
Same as last year, Papa.
What's that?
You hold Luigi and I'll kiss him.
That's right. And then it's 12 o'clock. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, listen, they're ringing out at 12 o'clock. 6, 7, 8.
9, 10, 11, 12. Pasquale, please, close the door, huh?
All right. Listen, Luigi, just because he's American, a custom on a New Year's Eve for a son and to call his mama, that's meaning you got to do it. The whole thing is a trick put out by the telephone company. Now forget about it. Hey, it's a telephone. Luigi, answer your telephone.
Hey, maybe Schultz once I should have come to his party. I'm going to feel like it.
Oh, Schultz. Well, forget about it. He's giving up. Let's just start again. Luigi, answer, please, on the telephone.
Well, all right. Hello? Yeah, it's Luigi Basco, 21 and North Hollister Street. What? Who's calling me? Italy! Yeah, hold on.
Come, Rosa, let's go.
sure. Hold on. Mamma mia. Oh, how wonderful. Mamma mia, how you feel, huh? Yeah. Isn't it a wonderful telephone? Yes, sounds like we're next door to each other. Mamma mia, how you feel? That's good. And how's Aunt Margarita and Uncle Pietro? And is the goat? Oh, the goat is still not married. Mamma mia, it's beautiful to hear your voice. This is so nice, Mamma mia. Wait. Hey, who's to pay for this telephone call? Pasquale is surprising me? No? Then wait. That a man from a telephone company, he's a fix-up? No? Then, Mamma mia, how's it possible? Who's paid? What? Out of towns of people from Castellamare? Why? Oh, I'm forgot. In a Castellamare, is it the custom on a New Year's Eve? The mama should have called the son.
Life with Luigi is a Cy Howard production. It was written by Mac Benoff and Lou Devin and directed by Mac Benoff. Jay Carroll as the starred as Luigi Ballesco with Alan Reed as Pasquale. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It doesn't get one bit sweeter than that. From 74 years ago, December 27th, 1949, Life with Luigi here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. Dragnet, Suspense, FBI, and Peace and War, Gangbusters, and Mr. District Attorney. Have yourself a great day, won't you? Please visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. And we will see you on Thursday. Have yourself a great Wednesday, and we'll see you Thursday for another edition of the program, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.